Good morning, Kentucky. We're back at the Emergency Operations Center, which is operating at a level 2, which means we are still at full activation. With me again today is Kentucky Emergency Management Director Eric Gibson and our Transportation Secretary Jim Gray. While the snow and ice have moved out of our state, we are facing an extreme cold warning until 11 a.m. today. This is very dangerous, especially because we are still working to restore power in many parts of the state. Folks need to stay indoors as much as possible and limit outdoor exposure. Even 10 to 30 minutes outside could cause frostbite or hypothermia. We also need Kentuckians to make sure they're bringing their pets inside. This cold is dangerous for them as well. The extreme cold warning ends at 11 a.m. this morning, but dangerously cold temperatures extend through the week. A cold weather advisory continues through tonight with dangerous wind chills for days to come. So we need everyone to remain alert. To date, we have 1 confirmed fatality, and we have 3 other that we are investigating on whether they are storm related. The 1 confirmed death is a 72-year-old woman from Whitley County. Now, we've received some questions about the cause of death, and we want to be respectful to that family. There are a lot of factors that can contribute. According to the Department of Health, hypothermia did contribute to her passing, but she also suffered a significant fall. More than anything, we want our family to know that our thoughts and our prayers are with them. This is a tough time, and we don't want anything to contribute to their pain. As of right now, we're looking at 27,014 power outages across the state. That is down from 73,590 at the height of the outages on Sunday. The hardest hit counties for power outages are Pulaski, Allen, Monroe, Barron, and Russell. Right now, we have 7,449 homes on a boil water advisory. We have 12 water or wastewater systems that are on limited operations. That most likely means they are operating under generator power. We, as of this morning, have 1,922 homes without water. Most of those are in Monroe County that had a line break last night. That accounts for about 1,600 of them. Yesterday, our info that we had was that the Manchester water system was down. It was not. Thanks to the mayor and the senator for providing us that information. We continue to have 950 people in our shelters. We continue to have 130 warming centers set up across the Commonwealth. That means if you're cold, there is a place to go where you can be warm. About 950 people sheltered in one of those warming centers or in a Red Cross shelter last night. The map you're seeing shows all of our locations. Again, if you're without power, this isn't going to end at 11 a.m. It's going to continue to be really cold for the next couple days. Our Kentucky State Parks have also set up warming centers at the locations that you now see on the slide. All have significant capacity. So there is a spot for you in one of these park warming centers if you need it. All parks in the South Central region are closed due to power outages. Those include Lake Cumberland, Dale Hollow, Cumberland Falls, Burnside, and Barron River. We're working hard to restore power at those sites, especially Barron River, because that's one of the hardest hit areas. In addition to Barron, other counties with major impacts include Pulaski, Allen, and Monroe. Though this was a statewide event, every single county had an impact. Our teams have been working around the clock to help every area. Kentucky State Police telecommunicators are working at all hours, ensuring that no call goes unanswered in this storm. These folks are sleeping in the office so that they can report for every shift. Like so many across Team Kentucky, they're making sure Kentuckians have help when they need it. KSP has received 6,679 calls for service related to the winter storm. They've conducted 364 wellness checks and responded to 521 requests for motorist assistance. State police continue to encourage Kentuckians call 911 only if it's an emergency. KYEM has also received 400 calls to our unmet needs line, and they have responded to each. That number again is 502-607-6665. We also have had at least 17 cut and toss teams working across Kentucky. That is our Department of Forestry working hard, augmented by our Kentucky National Guard. Now for our roadways, which were seriously impacted from the ice and snow accumulations from across the state. State highway crews, nearly 1,500 trucks, have worked through the weekend and on Monday to clear as many roads as possible. Since Friday, state and contracted plow crews have tracked 670,000 miles. That's enough to circle the earth more than 26 times. And before somebody leaves a comment on social media, those are many routes being plowed 3, 4, 5 times. It just shows how hard those road crews are working. Crews are making great progress, and a lot of our routes are now clear. The cold temperatures remain a challenge, especially along secondary routes. There are still roadways with icy conditions. Today, we're going to make good progress. For areas with power, we hope you'll return to relative normalcy tomorrow, but remember, it'll still be dangerously cold, and you can still encounter ice on any roadway. We delayed state office openings until 10 a.m. this morning to give our folks more time to get in. That's just a reminder. Take your time on the roads and make sure your car is safe to drive. We've got some reports of people just, getting a little bit of ice off the front windshield to barely see. That is not safe. You need to make sure your car is in good condition to drive out there, especially right now. Make sure your windshield wipers work. So please be safe. Go slow. Clean off your car before hitting the road, and continue to give our crews a wide berth. They're trying to make conditions as safe as they can be. I'll now turn it over to Eric Gibson, followed by Secretary Gregg.
Thank you very much, Governor. Well, thank you very much, Governor. And just a brief update on some of our lines of effort here at the Emergency Operations Center, just to give an updates on things that are going on and things that are we're seeing big needs for. We received over 346 resource requests from our local officials and partners across the state. Most of our requests have been for either generators, drinking water, some meals, ready-to-eat meals, and then one of our big requests has been essential personnel transport that the National Guard has really jumped on and taken care of those. And then, of course, that cut and toss effort that you're hearing about, getting our routes clear. We've received calls from our utility providers to ask if we could send additional forces in to get those lanes open so they could get their crews into those hardest hit areas. We continue to work with that and provide the most current public information that we can about those updates and things that are going on in each of the communities. We continue to provide our warming centers and keeping those open. And you've got the number that's been up and the map that's been shared. And it is available live on our website and shared on the governor's page to show people that there are places to go to get out of the cold. Extremely cold this morning, and it's going to be very dangerous to be outside. We've also heard from some people that have talked about having children maybe getting out on some ice. Just remember that ice can be dangerous. If that ice is still thin, it's not been frozen over long enough to be safe to be out on top of that. And we heard some talks about that from some of our officials out in the counties, just saying, could we please remind people to be safe on any kind of frozen ponds or water? And we just like to put those safety reminders out to you all, just to really keep an eye on those things that could save someone's life, of course. We want to thank our partners at the Red Cross and all of our local officials and our community shelters. Those have been a lot of our faith-based partners as well. And it shouldn't go unnoted that we really appreciate the lines of effort that they've put forward, opening these shelters and making sure that there are a place for people to go in each of these communities. And we could not do it alone. And we're not doing it alone. The Red Cross is a good partner, but so many others in those communities are doing their part as well, and we thank them for that. We've taken a lot of calls here at the number that we've been sharing every day, the 502-607-6665, and I think we're meeting the needs of those people that are calling. We're prioritizing those calls, of course, and getting those sent out to the right partner agency to take that as we coordinate that response. We continue to focus on power restoration. We continue to focus on making sure that the transportation routes are clear, the utilities are restored, and then continuing to meet needs such as drinking water shortages, and any kind of issues that may come up. We know that there are a lot of people out there working in this brutal cold, working on behalf of restoring the power or clearing the roads. And we just, we know that they're cold and they're out there surviving these temperatures. And we just want to say thank you for the effort that's going into it. And we stand by here at the EOC to support any resource requests that come in. We've talked to a lot of local officials. A lot of our elected officials are reaching out and asking us for things, and we're doing our very best to accommodate those and get the help that they need. So again, our number, if you have an unmet need, is 502-607-6665. And we really appreciate the work that's going on across the Commonwealth and especially in our hardest hit areas. Thank you very much, and I'll turn it over to Secretary Gray.
Thanks, Eric. Our crews are, of course, out again today. This is their 4th day in a row to keep priority routes passable for emergency responders and for critical travel. As the governor said, crews and contractors have driven 1,500 trucks, 670,000 miles through Monday. It's impressive, but not unexpected. They will drive as many miles as it takes to keep Kentuckians safe. They're well skilled in what it takes, like, for example, echelon plowing, which the video may show in just, this is an example of the echelon plowing where these plows, these snow plow trucks are working in staggered formation. Persistence paid off yesterday. Plow crews made progress, especially where sunshine warmed air and pavement, helping activate our de-icing agents. But do not be deceived and abandon caution. With temperatures at or below zero, it makes salt nearly ineffective, and roads refroze overnight. Conditions are still icy, which is why our overhead message boards this morning still say, icy road conditions, slow down, avoid unnecessary travel. Few reported major roadway impacts at this time. As of 8 a.m. this morning, we had one lane blocked on I-69 northbound in Graves County for a vehicle fire. Crews are still responding to trees, debris, and that the ice brought down. Now, road conditions are variable across the whole state. Interstates are in better shape, but I want to talk about some of the special conditions where we're having problems. But interstates are in better shape this morning with rough spots or partially covered lanes to the west in District 2, in the far west, Districts 1 and 2, and along parts of I-64 in central Kentucky. Rough patches. Keep in mind, shoulders, ramps may have snow or snow piles as plowing continues. We have lingering issues along I-64 between Frankfort and Lexington, I-165 in Western Kentucky, the Western Kentucky Parkway, and I-169. As the sun comes up, as morning has appeared, of course, there are more folks on the road, which means that we can expect more crashes. Unfortunately, currently we're tracking a crash on the Watterson Expressway 264 eastbound in Louisville near I-64. 2 lanes are blocked. Southbound I-75 at the Horse Park near Lexington is blocked with a crash, but wreckers are on the way. Our main A routes, that's the interstates and main arterials, they're in good shape, generally reasonable good shape in the extreme east and the west. 1 lane on most between Hopkinsville and Owensboro and north of the Bluegrass Parkway. Secondary routes vary. They are in rough shape in several locations, many locations, except for southeast Kentucky, where they're in better shape. But plow and grader crews made progress. More is expected today as they work through the snowpack, but it's still icy. Now, while we made progress yesterday and expect good progress to continue today across the board, as temperatures warm up, we will be making better progress. Bare pavement can still be a hazard when moisture refreezes, making it very slick. Stay home stay home if you can. It's safer for you, and it gives our plow crews more room to keep working and clear more pavement. But if you must travel, as the governor has already said, be prepared as possible. Expect the unexpected. Watch for black ice, fallen debris, plow trucks and tow trucks working. Clean off your car. Take it slow. Pack an emergency car kit. And you can learn more at snowky.gov, including traffic updates. Be on the lookout for a couple of minor weather makers called Clipper Systems, perhaps later in the week. Now, crews will be ready to respond whatever is thrown at them. That includes not only our plow crews, but the techs, the technicians, and the mechanics that keep our crews running, the support staff, and others, remarkable, critical staff. I want to thank the public again for your help and your patience, and our partners as well. The Kentucky National Guard, KYEM, KSP, and the Division of Forestry. Let's all work safely, continue to work and stay safe. Now back to the governor.
Considering all that we've been through, we've made some significant progress over the last couple days. Given the amount of snow in the north and ice in the south and the southeast, pleased with how hard everyone has worked to get us to where we are at the moment. But to do that took preparation. It was pre-treating roadways, preparing equipment, and coordinating with partner agencies before this event occurred. So thank you again to the National Weather Service, to all of our meteorologists, to everybody who gave us advanced warning that helped us to be prepared. It allowed us to designate warming centers all over Kentucky so those 900 plus people had a warm place to stay last night. It let us pre-position water, coordinate with the National Guard and other state agencies. It allowed me enough information to sign a state of emergency and activate the price gouging laws, as well as give the president enough information to approve an emergency disaster declaration, which has helped us through this process. I want to thank the Transportation Cabinet, Kentucky Emergency Management, our National Guard. I want to thank FEMA for all of the calls and support that they have helped us with, as well as Kentuckians for taking this seriously. When we look back over the last 6 years, on average, we have more than 2 weather disasters every year. That's hard to believe, but at this point, we know we have to take everyone seriously and that we should all have an emergency kit in our home and in our cars just based on what we face. A couple of tips as we get through today, and for many of you, hopefully return to normalcy tomorrow. If traveling, clean off your cars, go slow. If you're without power, go to a warming center. Make sure to keep your phone charged. Make sure you have a weather safety kit ready. Keep your pets indoors. Don't go outside for an extended period of time. If you use a generator more than 20 feet away from your home, make sure you have proper ventilation. Check on your neighbors. Conserve energy if you do have power, and make sure that you're careful with your kids as they're outside, both with the cold and the other conditions. And I want to remind everyone again, because I think we're investigating one potential death on this, take your time when you're shoveling this snow. I think a lot of people are itching to get out and to do something. It's heavier because of the ice. I remember last year we lost, I think it was 7 people due to falls outside or hypothermia, and 6 related to shoveling incidents. We don't want to lose Kentuckians that have made it through this storm to heart attacks or other conditions while shoveling. So just please be safe. Avoid calling 911 unless it's an emergency. If it's an emergency, call 911. And remember, our unmet needs line is 502-607-6665. Finally, remember there's an extreme cold weather warning until 11 a.m., but it's still going to be cold enough to get frostbite after that throughout much of the day and much of the week to come. Everybody be safe. We're getting through this. We're getting through it together. And we've got over 1,000 plus utility trucks that are out there trying to get power up and running. We're now under 27,000 power outages, which I can see up on a screen, so they are working. line by line by line to get people up and with power. We have 3 journalists on the line. We'll start with Stan from WEKU.
Thank you, Governor. A lot of the power outages look like they're in the same area that was hit by the tornado that came through South Central Kentucky last year. Is there any information about how that previous storm may have helped cause problems during this ice storm, and what's being done in particular to help those in that area?
Yeah, so I don't have any information that impacts of the tornadoes caused the situation to be worse. I guess that's possible. But when you look, I think they got 0.8 inches of ice. That is just a huge amount of ice. And that weighs down just about any power line, that weighs down just about any tree limb. 0.8 inches of ice is going to cause a massive power outage like we're seeing. And so it was just significant in and of itself. We have surged resources to the area. We've got more utility trucks there than in any other place. I just got an update from the local power companies, transmission line companies that are there. They have all of their people working, all hands on deck, and in each area in between 150 and 200 extra linemen that have come in. We have more guard in that area than anywhere else, making sure that people are okay and working with our cut and toss teams to make sure that it's not down limbs or trees. We've got more of our forestry group that we surged there after their own areas have been taken care of. So we're doing everything we can in coordination with the judges and emergency managers in the district. The challenge is 0.8 inches of ice is just a massive hit to the power grid. But we're working hard. There's no red up on the map. If you look at it, there's no orange. We're now down to yellow in those counties, if not a little bit blue, which means progress is being made. Today, with the conditions being better, probably after 11 a.m., once that extreme cold weather warning dissipates, I think our crews are going to be able to get out there and do even more. All right, Tom Latek, Kentucky Today.
Thank you, Governor, and gentlemen, good morning to all of you. How many National Guard troops do we have activated now, and what are some of their tasks?
We've had a couple thousand guard at the ready throughout this winter storm. We're probably going to take that down to about 1,000, which is more than we've had on hand for just about any other event. This was drill weekend, so we just had significant additional access. The Guard has been doing a number of different tasks. They have been doing wellness checks. They have been transporting key personnel. Let's think about folks to hospitals. They've helped with an evacuation of hotels in the London area, and so they are on call, ready for any mission that comes up. One that they've done in the past that we want to make sure that we still have enough people through today to do is if an interstate gets backed up, the Guard with their vehicles is very good at getting there, checking on people, making sure everyone's okay through it. We appreciate our Guard and their service. Karen Zard, WUKY.
Thank you to all of you for the updates. For Secretary Gray, what is the current outlook for secondary roads being cleared? And for you, Governor, are there any extra precautions being taken to ensure transportation crews, National Guard members are safe during these extreme cold temperatures? Thank you.
Yeah, we're focusing today on our secondaries. Our big focus before today has been on our interstates and our parkways, our major arterials. So now we're able to get to those secondary roads. Now remember, the snowpack, the ice, the snow, that's really challenging, very challenging. We have to really pick away at that layers of snowpack. So when our graders make their passes, and especially on our secondaries, when they make those passes, they sometimes and often have to do it more than once in order to clear the snowpack. So that's the big challenge, especially with the weather conditions and with the very, very cold temperatures that we have. But with the sun today, that sunlight is a real blessing, and the temperature is a real blessing. So we're hoping to make significant progress today.
Thank you for asking about the safety of both our transportation workers and our Guard. It's critical. They are our Kentucky neighbors, and we want them to get through this just like everyone else. The main way you can protect transportation workers is not to get in their way. Give them a wide berth if you're on the roads, or if you can avoid it, don't get on the roads at all. So the number one thing we were able to do to protect our transportation workers was keep people off the roads, especially during the height of the icing and of the snow. Yesterday, not having our state workers come into buildings, and I know a lot of other employers letting folks stay and work from home was huge for the safety of our transportation cabinet workers. The Guard undertakes dangerous tasks every day, and we're grateful for them. I think we had one Humvee that turned over on a mission. Thankfully, they train. They are good at what they do. They look out for each other, and I'd like to think that Kentuckians look out for them. Having a Guard with a significant training and skill set not only keeps us safe, but keeps them safe as well. We will have further updates via social media or news releases. If today goes as planned, if we get enough sunlight, if we make enough progress on the roads, we will not have an update tomorrow morning. If we do, it means that the roadways are still treacherous. But remember, dangerously cold today and through the week, and there can still be ice out there. So everybody be safe. Thank you.